Hi, I'm Benedikt Loepp from University of Duisburg-Essen, and I would like to present my position paper in which I argue that we need a broader perspective in the evaluation of recommender systems. And here's why. When we think of recommender systems today, what we have in mind are these typical lists of product, movie, or music recommendations. On the other hand, in an online shop, you also have the possibility to enter a search query or to manually constrain the item space by using, for example, a faceted filtering component. And more recently, all these conversational user interfaces came up, including dialogue-based product advisors and, in particular, all these chatbots which are now around. Now you may ask, what is the problem? Well, I think the problem is that we see all these different decision aids as isolated components, and that this also applies to the evaluation of recommender systems. Therefore, I argue that we as Rexis researchers need to think outside the box, not only considering the recommender as a standalone solution to solve the user's decision-making problem, but to take into account the system as a whole, in which the recommender is only one out of several decision aids. In the paper, you will find a number of qualitative insights from a recent experiment that support this argument. For instance, while participants were actually able to use different decision aids, they completely ignored some of the components, saying, for example, that they do not want to interact with chatbots at all, or the chatbots turn something really simple into dark comedy. You can find more of these comments in the paper. Now, I would like to briefly walk you through the suggestions I made in the paper to evaluate recommender systems in a more holistic fashion. First, I think that we need to run offline experiments with richer datasets, not only containing plain user item preference signals, and that we need to run simulation studies to account for the increasing design space with multiple components. Moreover, there are so many methods from HCI research which we could use to evaluate recommender systems from a more qualitative perspective, which also includes studies on the mental models users have of applications with multiple components. In this context, I think that it is also necessary to come up with new instruments to assess recommender systems on a more global level, which means in combination with and in comparison to other components. And to assess the user's experience while they interact with the systems, and to investigate the effect the combination with other methods has in the long run. I hope that we will have more time to discuss the application of these and other methods at the workshop. I would like to refer you to the paper and thank you for your attention.